Imagine this: the home your ancestors built, the land that holds their stories, torn from you in a single night. The Anijiduwaji, the Cherokee people, faced this nightmare. Their tears carved a path through history. For an immersive experience, watch this at 1.25x speed. Stay with us. Their story demands to be heard. What does it mean to lose your home, your identity, in a moment of betrayal? How do you carry the weight of 1,000 ancestors on a 1,200-mile march to nowhere? And how do you rebuild a nation when the world turns its back? These are the questions that echo through the Trail of Tears, a defining moment for the Cherokee Nation. Today, we'll walk that path together, grounded in historical truths, Cherokee voices, and the raw, human stories that refuse to be forgotten. By the end, you'll understand why this tragedy shaped the Anijiduwaji forever, and why their resilience still burns bright. In the 1820s, the Cherokee Nation wasn't just surviving, they were thriving. Nestled in the rolling hills of Georgia, Tennessee, and North Carolina, their homeland pulsed with life. Matrilineal clans wove tight-knit communities. Farmers grew corn and squash under the watchful eye of Selu, the Corn Mother. Thanks to Sequoia syllabary, a writing system born from one man's genius, the Cherokee published their own newspaper, the Cherokee Phoenix. According to the Cherokee Nation's official records, by 1827, they had built schools, churches, and a constitutional government that rivaled the United States. They were a sovereign nation, recognized by treaties. Their capital, New Echota, was a beacon of progress. But progress was a threat to their neighbors. Gold was discovered in Dahlonega, Georgia, in 1828. Settlers' eyes gleamed. The U.S. government, hungry for expansion, saw the Cherokees' fertile lands as a prize. Enter President Andrew Jackson, a man who called native nations savages while signing their death warrants. In 1830, Jackson pushed the Indian Removal Act through Congress. It demanded the forced relocation of 5 southeastern tribes, including the Cherokee, to Indian Territory in present-day Oklahoma. The Cherokee, who'd fought alongside Americans in wars, who'd adopted their laws and systems, were told their home was no longer theirs, and in that moment, the world began to fracture. Tsula, a grandmother from a small Cherokee village, had a pet goose named Galilee. Oral histories, preserved by the Cherokee Heritage Center, tell how she'd feed it corn from her palm, laughing as it waddled behind her. When soldiers came to her door in 1838, barking orders to leave, Tsula tucked Galilee under her shawl. "If I must go," she whispered, "you come too." She carried the goose for miles, a small act of defiance against the theft of her world. But the cold, the hunger, Galilee didn't survive the journey. Tsula buried her pet under an oak tree, whispering a prayer in Cherokee. What would you carry from your home if you had only moments to choose? Share your thoughts in the comments, we read every one. The Cherokee weren't just fighting the U.S. government, they were wrestling with themselves. Principal Chief John Ross, a fierce advocate, believed resistance was their only path. He petitioned Congress, pleaded with courts, and rallied his people. "We are not conquered," he wrote, his words preserved by the National Park Service. But not all agreed. A small faction, the Treaty Party, led by Major Ridge, John Ridge, and Elias Boudinot, saw removal as inevitable. They argued signing a treaty might secure better terms, save lives. It was a gut-wrenching choice: resist and risk annihilation, or compromise and betray their homeland. Have you ever faced a choice where every path felt like a loss? In 1835, the Treaty Party made their move. Without the consent of the Cherokee Nation, they signed the Treaty of New Echota, ceding Cherokee lands for $5 million and a promise of new territory. The treaty was a lie, a betrayal that fractured the nation. Adsela was 9 when soldiers came. His family's cabin, built by his grandfather's hands, stood proud in Georgia. As soldiers herded his family away, they torched the cabin. Adsela, clutching his mother's hand, watched the flames. "Why?" he asked, his voice lost in the crackle. Decades later, his story, recorded in Cherokee oral histories, still burns. That fire wasn't just wood and straw, it was Adsela's childhood, his roots, reduced to ash. In 1838, the U.S. government enforced the Treaty of New Echota. Over 16,000 Cherokee were rounded up at gunpoint, herded into stockades. Families were torn apart. Homes looted. The National Park Service's Trail of Tears historic trail data estimates 4,000 Cherokees died, 25% of the nation, on the forced march. The journey was 1,200 miles of mud, frost, and despair. No food. No blankets. The crunch of ice under bare feet. The wail of a mother in the distance, her child lost to fever. Smallpox and starvation stalked the trail. And in that moment, the world fell silent. A Cherokee historian from the Cherokee Heritage Center once said, "Our ancestors didn't just walk a trail, they carried our future." Every step was a prayer for survival. The U.S. government promised supplies, protection. They delivered nothing. The betrayal of New Echota wasn't just a broken treaty, it was a death sentence. John Ross never stopped fighting. While his people suffered in stockades, he wrote letter after letter, pleading for justice. "We are stripped of every attribute of freedom," he wrote, his words archived by the Library of Congress. At night, unable to sleep, he'd stare at the stars, whispering prayers for his people. His heart carried the weight of 1,000 ancestors. What would you fight for, no matter the cost? The Trail of Tears didn't end the Cherokee Nation, it forged them anew. In Oklahoma, the Anijiduwuji rebuilt. They revived their government, their schools, their syllabary. By 1840, they'd established a new capital, Tahlequah, where the Cherokee Nation still stands. According to the Cherokee Nation's official history, they turned barren land into a thriving community. Women led clans, passing down stories. Elders taught the young to honor their roots. The Cherokee Phoenix rose again, its pages a testament to resilience. The U.S. government thought they'd break the Cherokee. They underestimated the strength of a people who carry their home in their hearts. Ahioka, a mother who survived the trail, sang to her children every night in their new Oklahoma home. Her lullaby, passed down through oral tradition, spoke of mountains and rivers left behind. "We are still here," she sang, her voice a lifeline. Her descendants, interviewed by the Cherokee Heritage Center, still sing that song today. Her voice was a bridge between past and future. Today, the Cherokee Nation is a beacon of survival. Over 400,000 citizens, according to the Cherokee Nation's 2023 census, carry their ancestors' legacy. They lead in education, healthcare, and cultural preservation. The syllabary thrives in schools. Cherokee artists, writers, and leaders shine on the world stage. A Cherokee descendant once said, "The Trail of Tears taught us we can lose everything except who we are. We are Anijiduwuji, and we are unbreakable." The Trail of Tears was a defining moment not because of the pain, but because of the strength it revealed. The Cherokee didn't just survive, they redefined what it means to endure. What does home mean to you? Share your reflections in the comments. Your voice matters. The Trail of Tears is more than a chapter in history, it's a testament to the Cherokee spirit. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Comment your thoughts below, we read every one. And take a moment to reflect, what's worth fighting for in your life? Subscribe for more stories of resilience.